What's up, man? So today I'm going to teach you exactly how I broke binge eating in 3 simple steps with a secret bonus fourth step. And it led me to lose 100 pounds in a year. And now I'm down a total of 110 pounds. And if you don't believe me, here's some proof. Here's some loose skin for you. So everything that I'm about to tell you works well, it works fast, and it doesn't suck to do. I promise you that. It's really simple. So the first step, this is part of your new daily routine. It's extremely simple. It's not going to take over your life, but it will give you life-changing results. The first step is you're going to start your day with 30 minutes of movement. Now, the reason that I'm saying movement here and not do 30 minutes of running, do 30 minutes of cardio, or do 30 minutes of walking or biking, whatever, is to intentionally leave it vague. So some days when I do this, I want to go run. As weird as that sounds for me to say, as someone who was 320 pounds at one point, sometimes I do wake up and running does sound nice. But for the most part, it doesn't. So I go for a walk on those days. And maybe someday, if I buy a bike, I'll go biking. Or if I have a pool someday, I'll go swimming. You get the picture. The point here is to leave it intentionally vague so that you have the option to switch it up so it doesn't get old. Because eventually walking is going to get old. You're going to think like you're wasting your time if you're spending your first 30 minutes every day just walking. Like, it's kind of boring, doesn't burn a ton of calories, but it sure as hell does work for making you feel good. So some of those days that you don't want to walk, you go for a run. And but as a byproduct of that, you get something that's new and fresh. You break up the walking, and you burn a ton more calories when you do running than you do walking, obviously. Now, if you have a bike, obviously, you go biking. If you have a pool, go swimming. If you have a jump rope, that works too. Any sort of movement works perfectly. Now, the reason that we're doing this is not to burn calories. The reason that we're doing this is to earn the secret fourth step later on, which I won't spoil yet. Now, step number 2 is hit your protein goal. Hit protein goal. Wow, that is some bad handwriting. Hit your protein goal. So your protein goal is a target of 1 gram of protein per pound of your target body weight. So for me, I was 320 and my initial target body weight was 275. The first big hurdle for me was losing 50 pounds. So I set my protein goal at 275 and I hit it every single day without fail. Now, what the protein really is going to do for you, obviously it's good for building muscle, but it's also going to keep you satiated significantly longer than just eating, fats or carbs would. And a lot of the protein really does taste good if you make it right. It's the reason that I have a full recipe book for all of my clients is because I figured out a lot of good ways to get my protein in, because when you have to eat 275 grams of protein for a year, or I guess 6 months, it took me to lose the first 50, you figure out pretty good ways to eat the protein. And tonight I had protein cheesecake, which was absolutely delicious. And maybe I'll make a video about that someday. So step number 3 of the process is stay under calories, which stay under calories. And what you don't know about this is an equation. So all of this, when you do all of these 3 steps, you get the fourth step, which is why we can truly resist the binge here, is we earn cheat meal. So what I found was when I first started losing weight, I cut out all of the desserts in my diet. I cut out all of the foods that actually taste good, and it was like I was trying to punish myself for years of food abuse and being extremely overweight and self-hatred, which was probably true because I didn't like myself at the time. I didn't like the way that I thought people viewed me. I didn't like walking into rooms and feeling like the biggest guy in the room, not in a good way. Now, the reason that we earn the cheat meal is because when I was big, obviously, I would have lots of cheat meals. That's what kept me fat. But when you earn the cheat meal, you attach value to the meal. You can't totally restrict because, like I said, I cut out desserts when I first started. I totally restricted everything. But that led me to when I had my first bite of cheesecake after 2 months of dieting. I was in a food coma for a couple days because I binged so much. And that was the moment that I realized I can't totally restrict here because I'm not solving the underlying issue of why I binge ate. And the reason that I binge ate was because I was in the binge cycle where you restrict yourself extremely heavily. You go cold turkey on all of the foods that you love. Then as soon as you get a taste, you're in a food coma, and 6,000 calories later, you have no idea what happened because you just blacked out and you had zero control. You were totally defenseless. I've been there. I promise you, I have been there. When I played college football, there was one night that me and my roommates went to Little Caesars and we got pizza. And I told myself, I'll get the garlic bread too because I'll have some leftovers for tomorrow after practice. And I knew full well I was going to eat all of it. I was lying to myself. And I entered this insane this food's like hunger state where nothing was satiating my appetite. Like the smell of the pizza in the car ride back to our apartment, which is like a 3-minute drive, was absolutely driving me nuts. And yeah, I was hungry, but I took down a full, large Little Caesars pizza and garlic bread and 2 of those cheesy jalapeno dips in one sitting, and then I had a couple protein bars. Not my proudest moment. And I felt a ton of guilt over that. I did. I genuinely did not like myself, obviously the rest of the night, the day after, a couple days after, and that hatred, you might say, led me to restrict myself. Led me to, okay, I'm going to lock in this time. I'm actually going to take control of my nutrition, right? I'm sure you've heard it 1,000 times. But the total restriction there led me to binge again. And you can see how the cycle continues and continues and continues. And that went on for years. And honestly, it destroyed my confidence. Because I knew that on a base level, I couldn't even control the food I was putting in my mouth. Like, how could I achieve anything else in life? And that weighed extremely heavily on me for a very long time. No pun intended. And that led me, obviously, to be very heavy. As a college football player, I didn't need to be 320 pounds. One of my roommates, he started at 275, and he played a lot better than I did most games. And deep down, I think I knew that my ideal weight was playing at 290. Yet I still ate my way up to 320, and if I didn't quit, that year early, who knows what I would have been at the end. And using these 4-ish steps, I guess you could say, has truly changed my life because it's allowed me to regain control. And on a fundamental level, this is exactly how it works. So you earn the reward in the morning with your 30-minute movement. First thing in the morning, it's part of my 4-step morning routine. So I earn the reward, then I have something to look forward to all day with that cheat meal because I now have earned it. And the only reason I'm not going to get that cheat meal at the end of the day is if I don't hit my protein and I don't stay under my calories. And I know that if I can do those 2 things, which is pretty simple to do, I can earn a cheat meal every single day should I want one. Now, do I eat a cheat meal every day? No. And that's the best part because I can, but I choose not to willingly. And that's how you truly break the binge eating cycle. It's not by endless restriction. It's by control. It's by reintroducing the foods that you love by earning them using this method. And if we want to put a name on it, we can call it the 30 PC1 method. So just remember, the way to earn your cheat meals and break your binge eating cycle, that cycle of despair and defenselessness, and that just led me to be unconfident for my whole life due to a lack of control of food. The way to break that, 30 PC1. You have 30 minutes of movement, first thing in the morning, mandatory. Hit your protein, stay under calories, you get 1 cheat meal. The reason that we do 30 minutes in the morning, because it gives you something to look forward the entire day. When You do something early in the morning. Now for the rest of the entire day, you can think, man, should I want it? I can have some cheesecake tonight. Should I want it? I can have some Reese's tonight. And that's what makes it so sustainable, because now you're not going to break during the day. You're not going to be inconsistent with your eating during the day because you know that you have the cheat meal coming later at night, and unless you're really down in the depths, you're not going to have 2 cheat meals in one day. So just remember, 30 PC1 will change your life just as it did mine. Obviously, when I was going through this, I didn't realize that I had made these steps until I actually made these steps, if that makes sense. It was only about a couple months ago now that I've truly realized this is how it happened. But obviously in the time, I'd do my movement, I'd hit my protein goal every day, and I stayed on my calories, then I knew that I could have a cheat meal. So use this, and I promise you, you'll break your binge eating, you'll break that cycle of unconfidence, and you'll finally be able to take your shirt off at the pool and not feel like everybody's staring at you. Because that's what happened for me. And now, honestly, I don't feel like people staring at me, because they do stare at me, because they see the loose skin. Maybe, hopefully they see the cap delts. But I gave them a different reason. And there's power in that. There's power in control. There's happiness in controlling your eating enough to feel confident in yourself, because this is what truly allowed me to earn my confidence back, was taking control of my nutrition and taking control of my binge eating. And do I want to binge eat some nights still? Yeah. But I don't, because I know the value of what a cheat meal is. It used to be a participation trophy, but now it's something I have to earn. And that changes everything. So, and if you really want more information in short form, more bite-sized content, head over to my Instagram. It's the first link in the description. Obviously it says instagram.com/luke.strassner.fit. Check me out, drop me a follow, and shoot me a message if this moved you.